taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
To the Breakthrough Show, it's Shirley and Jessica. Yes, we love y'all. Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the Queen of Joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. How are you doing today? It is Tuesday, September the 6th, 2022, day after Labor Day. A lot of kids are starting school today that hadn't started school yet this year, this season. So happy first day of school to all the little kids going to school today. Hope you have a great day. Parents, happy first day of school to you. Hope you have a great day as well. All the teachers out there sending you good vibes for this upcoming 2022-2023 year. I think it's going to be a good one. Feels good. So we got some national days to talk about today. We've got a great topic today. We're going to be talking about reframing to joy, reframing things to the space of joy, what that looks like. Does it mean that we have to ignore the other, very important emotions that come up? And then I have a question for you. What if everything was meant for joy? And that's a beautiful question you can ask yourself every day. And we'll be getting into that a little bit as well. We also have birthdays to celebrate. So let me know if you know anybody that has a birthday going on today. And it'll be great. We'll get all that done in just a little bit of time together today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, super excited to be with you for another episode of Project Joy Live today. I would love for you, if you're joining us live or on the replay, to head over to the comments section, say hello, and let us know, of course, what is bringing you joy this beautiful, rainy here in Mystic, Connecticut, joyful day. So what's going on over here? I'm enjoying the 9 o'clock Eastern time hour this morning. I was able to see yesterday was not really good practice for what I was in for. And I was a little bit nervous. I'll tell you what, because we're an hour later now for a few different reasons. My husband has a new job. And so I knew I needed time to do the things that I need to do in the morning to take care of me, but also get him to work and get back. And so I didn't really get to practice that yesterday because it was Labor Day and he was off of work. And so this morning I got to practice, and I managed, are you ready, boys and girls? I managed to, leaving at 8 a.m., get him to work, come back, drop off my daughter's books at the library, make an iced coffee. Hello, good morning. And come down here and be with you guys, and I have a few minutes to breathe before we come on and finish my show notes. So it worked out really well. So I must say, I enjoy. Mr. Jackson will be thrilled to know that I'm enjoying the 9 a.m. hour this today. I don't know how that'll feel when it comes summertime and I want to be out the door and ready to go. Like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, let's just enjoy it in the moment. What do we have going on today? A few national days happening. It is National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Do you like coffee ice cream? I love coffee ice cream, actually. Coffee ice cream was one of my grandmother's favorite ice creams. Her birthday is coming up here soon on September the 15th. So we'll be celebrating that next week. But she loved coffee ice cream, and she used to, now this is apparently, come to find out, this is a very New England, Rhode Island thing, apparently. Coffee milk. She used to get coffee flavored syrup and make me coffee milk. It was like nothing good in this syrup at all, of course, but she would make me like milk with just this coffee syrup, and then kicking it up a notch the way she did, she would put the coffee ice cream in there too. And let me tell you something, boys and girls, that probably started my iced coffee addiction. Of course, now I can't do the regular coffee because it makes my heart do bad things. So I do what some of you refer to as the cup of sadness, the decaf coffee. But it still tastes good. So I have that going on. And by the way, Oatly, is it Oatly? I think it's maybe not Oatly. Anyway, it's one of the oat milk creamers, has a coffee cake flavored non-dairy creamer right now that is to die for. Okay. So if you get a chance to check that out, go do that as well. It's also National Read a Book Day. I love that. National Read a Book Day. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you are reading right now. I am not reading any books right now. I'm actually finishing up the final edit of my book called Thriving Through Change. I came out with an ebook back in 2016 or 2018, a long ass time ago, called Coping Through Change. It was the first thing that I had really ever written on my own. And it was an interactive ebook. It came with a calendar, it came with meditations, came with all of these great things that you could download the ebook and click it and go do those things. And I had been having quite the feeling that I've wanted to reformulate that book for quite some time. And so it's now called Thriving Through Change, not just Coping Through Change. And a lot has gone into the rewrite, and also the meditations are being re-recorded so that you can, when you buy the paperback, you will also get the ebook, which will take you to the clickable links and all of that good stuff as well. So really excited about it coming out on paperback instead of just an ebook, and then it's still being interactive and all that good stuff. But let me know if there's anything in particular that you are reading today for National Read a Book Day. Apparently, it's also the day after Labor Day is also called National Another Look Unlimited today. Now, National Day Calendar had no idea where this day actually came from, but the idea is fall cleaning, fall decluttering, fall organizing. I don't know about these things. I don't know about these things. A lot of people participate in the spring cleaning. This is apparently your fall cleaning day. But the thing that I find weird about it is it's technically not fall yet. Like, it's not fall till the end of September, officially by the calendar. I think a lot of people feel like September 1st and on is fall, even though the official fall day doesn't happen till the end of the September. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Do you feel like September 1st is fall for you and moving on? Or are you waiting for the official, like, it is fall day? Let me know about that. It starts to really feel like fall when that time change comes in as well, which I think is October, but I didn't write that down before I came on today. Let's check in with who's joining us this morning. Miss Brittany was first in the line, front row this morning. Happy Tuesday, Miss Brittany. It's good to see you. It's weird having to wait for the show. Okay, I admit this, and I said it yesterday, because yesterday was one of those days that I'm up early, you guys. I'm an early bird. I have said that. I'm up and ready to go and getting things done. And so yesterday was because my husband was off work, was for sure one of those days that I was like, I literally sat here for 45 minutes going, what do I do? So I decided I'm going to be using the time to get computer stuff done. But today, like I said, brought the husband to work. I had time to do things and didn't have to feel out of breath and all of that as I was sitting down to do the show. So it worked out well. One of my favorite Texas girls is here this morning. Miss Chelsea is here today. Happy Tuesday, my friend. It is iced coffee day. It is for sure. Hello. Cheers. Cheers to you, my friend. Let me know what you're drinking this morning, you guys. You got iced coffee, regular coffee, juice, tea, smoothie, water. What do you have going on today? Cheers. Divine DNA is here this morning. Good morning, Jacksons. It is good to see you today. Tomorrow's going to be the 1-year anniversary episode of Divine DNA here on the Breakthrough Show Network, you guys. So don't miss that. It's going to be fun. I may or may not know somebody who's going to pop on there. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see. Brittany says fall for me is usually about the end of September. Right. So I think September 22nd is the official fall day, but I always feel like, and maybe this is a peer pressure thing. I don't know. I always feel like September 1st feels very fall-ish. One, being back in Mystic, Connecticut, Clyde Cider Mill opens officially on September 1st. So when the cider mills open and the apple picking starts and boozy slushies, which I talked about yesterday, you can go check that out on yesterday's episode. It starts to feel like a little fallish, and it feels more like fall here now, being in Connecticut, because the weather is actually getting a tiny bit cooler this week, and it's raining, and we desperately needed the rain. So we'll see how the fall feels. I am getting a good laugh out of the fact that it's been like it has dipped the toe of Mother Nature, and Mother Nature has dipped her toe in the cool pool a couple times, dipping down into the high 50s. And my kids come out in the morning and my 8-year-old in particular is like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I'm like, oh, honey, oh, bless your heart, as they say in the South. It's going to get cold here. They're not used to this. They have never seen snow like we get here in Connecticut. So we're going to find out how this goes. Water is going on over there for Miss Chelsea. Cheers. You just got off working all night. Thank you for the work you do, my friend. In the middle of the night, because I'm sleeping, I love fall, but it's still hot, but the leaves have been falling since August. It is weird weather. I was telling someone this morning, we finally have gotten rain here. We've been in a drought here in this area of Connecticut. I think a lot of Connecticut has been in a drought. And when you go to Eastern Point Beach in Groton, Connecticut, on the left side of the road, there is this like little pond area that I think used to just collect a lot of water. A lot of the hermit crabs would come up in there and everything else. It has been no water at all, like empty, since we got here, and we've been here almost 2 months. I've never in my life, now this is going 40 something, we'll just leave it at that, years. Okay, it has never been empty. This is the first time in my life I have seen it empty. So it's very strange, but we're getting water, and now it's flooding in Rhode Island, up in Norwich, Connecticut. It's flooding, and maybe the ground's too dry to, I don't know, but the weather is weird everywhere. I am also watching the leaves fall here, Brittany. It's strange. It's strange for sure. Things have definitely changed. Time change is November 6th. Thank you, Chelsea. I thought it might have been late October, but so that's really going to feel some kind of way. That time change, by the way, is my favorite time change. I love to fall back. I love that time change. A lot of people disagree with me, but it is what it is. Power of Daddy's here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you today. We're going to take a quick break, you guys, and we are going to come back. We've talked about our national days. We're going to come back and talk about reframing to joy this morning, what that looks like. And I would love to have you chime in on that topic if you would like to. You are welcome to go over to, you're welcome to go over to projectjoypodcast.com, click the join live button, and join me live on air and chime in on today's topic of reframing to joy. So we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Today is Tuesday, September the 6th, 2022, and you're watching Project Joy Live. We've been talking a little bit about fall and everything else. Power of Daddy said we're tired of fall, or we're tired of summer and ready here for the fall. I am with you. I like the hoodies. I like the cooler weather. I'm thrilled about that. But like I said, I will say that the weather is much cooler without it even being fall here in Connecticut compared to what we were used to in Alabama, for sure. I would love for you guys to join us in our Discord community. That is our community that has everything to do with the Breakthrough Show Network. Head over to bit.ly/Discord Breakthrough, bit.ly/Discord Breakthrough. By the way, just a reminder for those of you that are on our text messaging system, that is going to be going away and being replaced by email. We've got email, Discord. We've got lots of other ways that you can keep in touch with us here at the Breakthrough Show Network, but no more text messaging service. It's just one of those things that there was a lot of stuff behind that. We won't get into that today, but that's what's happening over here. So today we're going to be talking about reframing to joy. Now, we've talked a lot about on this show in particular how joy isn't always handed to us on a silver platter, that joy is an experience, joy is a feeling, joy can be encompass a lot of different things. It doesn't always look like what we expect joy to look like, but it's a choice. I've shared with you guys before that it literally says that on my business card. Joy is your choice. It says on one side, and I love that phrase. Joy is your choice, because it puts joy back into our control, our lap. And it's not like we're just waiting for it to appear. We can literally choose at any moment to stop the madness and choose the joy. We had a great conversation in our Soul Saturday Morning Coffee recently about conflict, and do you think that it's ever necessary? And I think a lot of people in general feel like sometimes war, conflict, fights, disagreements are necessary. But even in the midst of that, we can choose to say, I'm not participating in this. I am not going to add to this kind of negative energy. I'm not going to add to any of this BS that's going on. I'm going to choose joy. I'm going to choose silence. I'm going to choose peace, right? We can choose to do that. I'm not saying that it's easy to do. And I want to sort of preface all that we're going to talk about today with that statement of, I'm not saying that any of this is easy. What I am saying is that all of it is a choice. All of it is up to you, whether or not what you want to participate in. Okay. So I had to say hi really quick this morning to Kevin Kiley. Good morning, Kevin. I love you so much. Good to see you today. And I'm glad that this is just what you needed. We're going to start really quickly because, listen, a lot of you guys don't know that I was a very good student in school. Okay. I worked really hard to get those A's that I got. And because it didn't come easy to me, I would say I worked my ass off to be a good student. Let me say that. It was not like I woke up and I was just smart. Like I had to work real hard for it. So I take looking up definitions and knowing parts of speech and knowing good grammar. I take that very seriously in my life because I've worked so hard to get that right in my life. Okay. So we're going to start out with definitions today. I'm going to be the homeschool mama for just a minute. Joy is defined in the dictionary as a noun, joy, a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. A feeling of great pleasure and happiness. I find the example sentence or phrase given really interesting. However, the phrase that they use to give an example of using the word joy says tears of joy. I find that really interesting, and I'm going to leave that at that. It also could mean a thing that causes joy. So it could be a joy, not just joy, but something could be a joy as well. Okay. And so that's the definition of joy. I want to also tell you the definition of reframe, which is a verb. Verbs are action words, boys and girls. And it says the number one, place in a new frame. So talking about reframing something like physical, like a picture or something like that. But that's not what we're talking about here today. But the second definition is to frame or express words or a concept or plan differently. To frame or express differently. Example, I reframed my question. Okay, so we're going to be talking about reframing or expressing things differently in an effort to see, create, recognize joy. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here this morning. One of the things that I want to address with this is about bypassing. And that's something else that we have talked about on this show before. Because we hear about this a lot in the spiritual community. Who's heard the phrase spiritual bypass before? Let me know if you've heard that phrase before, spiritual bypassing. We hear this a lot in the spiritual community because a lot of times people will talk about joy and happiness and peace and basically tell you to ignore, shove down, bypass any of the other emotions that might come up that feel opposite of those things. Sadness, anger, frustration, discomfort, turmoil, any of these things that might come up that feel opposite of what you might imagine joy, happiness, peace, these positive, quote unquote, emotions are. You hear that a lot of feeling bypass. A lot of times, if we're going through a challenging time, someone who might be spiritually woke, so to speak, might say something like, in conversation, I'm sorry you feel that way, but, or not even acknowledge those challenging emotions that you feel, but going, or just going right to the, well, things are going to be great, or, showing you to bypass the things that come up. I think embracing everything as joy and choosing to reframe challenging situations to joy doesn't mean that we have to bypass the very real things that come up at the same time. And so, as we're talking about this at the same time, I prefer to always use the word and instead of but when we're addressing these things. So, when we talk about, let's just use an example. Let's say you lost your job. And let's say it's a situation where you didn't want to lose your job. This wasn't like you were miserable and now you've lost your job and yay. You were happy in your job. You loved your coworkers. You were getting paid well. And now you find yourself laid off. Okay. It can be, we can go a couple of directions with this. We can come into this and I have to acknowledge this really quickly. I wish I could bypass feelings, right? That's to me how it feels as well, Brittany. Like it's a silly thing to try to even accomplish. But so you laid off from your job. Now you can say, this really sucks. It's horrible. And you can go wallow in that. You can say, kind of go that bypassing route and go, well, I should just be happy. I should just be happy that I had the time that I had there. We hear that sometimes in journeys of grief, when sometimes when people we love pass away and other people don't know what to say. And a lot of times what we hear is, be thankful for the time you had with them. Like, let's just completely bypass the fact that we're sad and we're grieving that human form is no longer with us. Let's just bury that and go, well, just be thankful for the time you had with them. Right. So it's easy to just bypass as well. One of the things that I like to do with reframing is add that and that's what I want to talk to you about right now. So I can sit here and say, it really sucks that I lost that job. I was very happy where I was. I loved my coworkers. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to find something that might be an even better fit. And I'm thankful for the time that I did have with my coworkers. So allowing yourself to feel, man, I'm pissed off that they fired me. I'm upset that I now have to go apply for unemployment and deal with all that. But God, and I'm excited because I get to move forward, because it's okay and it's possible and it's human for us to feel all of those things at once. And it's also okay to add the and 5 minutes later or 5 days later. That's where the choice comes in, though. That's where it's up to you. If you don't want to wallow in the things that are going on, if you realize this is not serving me to dwell in a place where we're going to be kind of that because listen, the more you sit here and say, this really sucks, my boss sucked, I can't believe they fired me, I'm going to be without a job, and you going around in circles with that doesn't create a nice energy. That doesn't create an energy of creation, an energy of possibility. That doesn't create that. So if you recognize that, that's where the choice has to come in of going, I'm going to put the brakes on that. I'm going to say, this really sucks, but and I get to go find something that's an even better fit. I get to go do this and it's going to be amazing. Imagine, not being upset like this again. Okay. So we don't need to bypass the very real things that we are experiencing, but we do have the choice to add an and, to add another part to that. I have to say good morning really quickly to Miss Nancy's here today. Miss Nancy, I was showing your picture on the air yesterday. It's good to see you from Asheville this morning. I was sharing about the trip up here because that was the first time I had been live on Project Joy since the trip. So I was showing your picture and everything yesterday. The other thing that I would like to put out there and have everybody consider, and this is me going outside the box the way that I do. This is me being the rebel that I am and questioning definitions of things the way I do. What if everything was for joy? Now, I want to go back to when I read the definition of joy, a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. And that example that they gave, that example phrase was tears of joy. I find that terribly interesting and synchronistic based on what I knew I was going to talk about today. What if, and just all we're doing this morning is playing, okay? Raise your hand if you like to play too. Raise your hand. All we're doing this morning is playing. What if everything was for joy? What if everything was for the purpose of joy? What if every job loss, every illness, every challenge, every loss of a person, every argument, every war, what if all of that, what if every challenge that we face was ultimately for the purpose of joy? What if, and this ties into things that we've talked about here on Project Joy several times about things being multifaceted and things being able to coexist together, emotions coexisting together. What if sadness was joy? Again, going back to that example, joy definition, thank you, dictionary.com. Tears of joy. What if sadness was for joy? What if anger was for joy? What if that argument that you had was ultimately for joy? What if we chose, even if it was hard, to see it that way, no matter what? What if in the middle of an argument, like I was mentioning before, we just stopped and decided to be joyful? Here we go, Alice, down the rabbit hole. Brittany, that that album I sent you earlier, you need to go listen to the song Rabbit Hole too. Okay, all right, there we go. What if what if it was all for joy? I was being a brat the other day. I know, hard to believe. But something had gotten my feathers ruffled the other day. Quite a bit. I allowed my feathers to be ruffled, even though I know they shouldn't have been ruffled. I allowed them to be. And so I was being a brat the rest of the day. I was being a brat to my kids. I was being a brat to my husband. If you had come in contact with me the other day, I'd have been a brat to you too. I'm sorry. It was just going to happen. I was being a straight up brat. And I'm human, yes, but that doesn't excuse the behavior. I was being a brat. And so I was picking at my husband. And I want to say this. I was very I was very aware of my brattiness. I referred to myself to a friend of mine as Veruca Salt. You guys know Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka? I want it now, don't care how. I want it now, stomping feet, running off. I was fully conscious of my brattiness, but I was so stubborn in the moment and going like, I am human, and sometimes things are what they are, and I am going to be a brat because I can right now. So that's how I was being. Okay. I know, so hard to believe. And so anyway, I had this moment, very conscious of my brattiness, like I said, and I'm picking at my husband, like picking an argument on purpose because I'm human and I can. I was such a brat. Anyway, and I stopped when I got a good breath, and I said to myself in my head, I am the queen of joy. I am not participating in this anymore. What am I doing? And I was driving at the time, and I reached, by the way, don't drive when you're being a brat, because you go fast and you might get pulled over. I didn't, thank God, but I'm just saying. Reached over, I put my hand on his leg, and I said, I'm sorry. I'm really being a brat right now, and there's no need for me to be like this. Now, I could have continued because it was some of the things that we were bickering about were necessary to come out. However, I didn't have to say it the way that I was saying it. I didn't have to behave the way that I was behaving. There was no need for that. However human I am or not, there was no need for me to behave like that. And I reached over and I put my hand on its leg and I said, I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really being a brat right now. And you don't deserve that. And I chose in that moment to just be joy instead. I could have continued to carry on. I could have continued to address some of the things that needed to be addressed, but not in that energy. Not in that energy. And for some of y'all listening right now, it doesn't, when you are in that kind of, when you are feeling some kind of way, it does not help to precursor what you're saying with, so no offense, but because when you say that, when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but no offense, but no disrespect, but you know damn well what you're about to say is disrespectful. Okay, so you have the choice in that moment to go, I am going to be joy instead, and I'm not going to participate in this while I am clearly feeling some kind of way. And reach your hand over, put your hand on the person, because then you're feeling their humanness too. Now, don't do this to a stranger. Don't just be touching people on the subway. Okay. I'm not encouraging these things today. Reach over and I put my hand and I said, I'm sorry. I don't need to do this. I am being a brat. I am not living with the joy that I know that I'm capable of living. And I want to live, because ultimately that's the choice. At the end of the day, that's the choice. But what if I had just made the decision that everything that day was going to be joy, that the tears, the arguments, that even in my Veruca Salt brattiness, don't care how, I want it now, that was joy too. Because ultimately it was for joy. I took it to that moment to go, we're not doing this. And it created a moment of joy. So I guess my challenge to myself, and a little challenge I wanted to issue to everybody else today, is to wake up in the morning the rest of this week. And I'm going to start out each show this week and ask this question to you guys to give you a little reminder. Wake up in the morning and ask yourself, what if everything was for joy? What if everything that happens today is for joy? And then when we are faced with those challenges, when we are feeling bratty, when we are having those arguments, when we are feeling some kind of way about something, we remember that statement, and you can write it down, keep it in your purse, tattoo it on your, use a pen. My mom will kill me for saying this, because they told us not to write on ourselves when we were little. Write it on your hand. Say to yourself in the morning, what if everything is today is for joy? And when you come in contact with that contrast, as Abraham calls it, or those challenging moments, you remember, I said to myself, what if this is for joy though? And it completely takes you out of the moment for a minute and goes, wait a minute, can I reframe this? Can I feel this some kind of way that I'm feeling and know that this is ultimately for joy? This is ultimately for my peace, my happiness, my well-being. This is for joy. So that's my challenge for everybody this week, is to wake up in the morning and to say, what if everything that happens today is for joy? What if every person that I come in contact with today was ultimately for joy, for the purpose of joy? Now, I realize that there is shit going on in the world. I realize that things happen. I realize that, there's a lot of that people say there are bad people in bad situations and all. I hear you when you say, and that's why I said before all of this, that I'm not saying that any of this is easy. I'm not saying that it is easy to look at someone who has murdered another human being and say and find some kind of joy there. I'm not telling you that's easy at all, but it is your choice. It's your choice what you focus on. It is your choice how far you take that energy. And if you're going to allow whatever is not joy to become who you are. Because I believe that ultimately every single person is for joy. I think shit happens sometimes. I think we get away from that joy. But I have to believe, in order for me to be the person that I am, that everyone is for joy. Everything is for joy. Now, what are we going to, now in that knowing, what am I going to do with that? And I choose to wake up now and say, what if everything today is for joy? What if every person today is for joy, ultimately? And when something goes wrong or something's out in contrast, as Abraham says, something's in contrast, I can ask myself, okay, but remember what I said this morning? What if it was for joy? Let me know how that feels. Let me know how that feels for you guys. We have birthdays to do today. That's that's as far down the rabbit hole as I'm going to go today, because that was a big woo-wee in the moment. I do want to say, excuse me, Nancy said, perfect timing for this conversation. I have had to tell 2 old friends of my brothers and my mom that they passed. It was exhausting for me to go through again, but found more moments to forgive and heal. Absolutely. So it's exhausting, and what a beautiful opportunity you have to forgive and heal. It's a difficult situation, and you get to move forward in your own personal and spiritual development. It's lousy that it happened, and you get to help someone else, and feeling all of those things at the same time. And the ability to allow yourself to be frustrated and angry and sad and all of that, that is joy in itself, that you've given yourself the space to do that. So that joy is always there. And what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do in the knowing that at any moment you can choose joy, that every person on this planet is meant for, ultimately for joy? Despite bad things that they might do, what are we going to now do with that information? How are we going to see the world with that information? How are we going to see each other with that information? There's my rabbit hole today. And I was able to release more and feel the joy this morning. Yes. And sometimes it takes time 5 minutes later, 5 days later. That the time part is up to you. It's how long do you want to be in that space? Because you can have that split second moment like I had in the car of like I was literally like bratty Veruca Salt, and then I was like, I'm sorry. And it may seem rather psycho to be able to flip like that, but that tells you how conscious we can be of the nastiness that we can be sometimes and go, I'm not going to do this. No, I don't have to be this way. No matter how necessary we think a fight might be, or anger or sadness or any of these quote unquote negative emotions, no matter how necessary we think that is, you don't have to. You don't have to. None of it. There's joy in everything if we allow it, and can definitely be hard to feel it and see it at times. Definitely, 100%. It can be so hard. And that part of why it's so important to watch Project Joy live in the morning. And it's so important to surround yourself with people who feel and believe that same thing, Brittany, that there's joy in everything if we allow it. There's joy. If we allow that to be there, there can be. It can. And so if we surround ourselves with people that believe that as well, we're going to be reminded more and more often of our own beliefs and what we need to be, because it's like you said, it's not always easy. Sometimes we need those reminders. I need, a bell that goes off all the time. Like, girl, Joy, hello. Are you being Veruca Salt right now? Because check yourself, lady. Check yourself. Listen, we're going to take a really quick break and be back and do birthdays and everything else and close out the show. Let me know any final thoughts you have about that question. What if everything was for joy? What if? Are you going to take the challenge this week? Let me know. And we will be right back after this.
Thanks for watching the Breakthrough Show Network. Today, we'd like to support our friend over at Nail Beauty by Brittany. Purchase your custom press-on Reiki-infused nails by visiting nailbeautybybrittany.com. Don't forget your discount by using the code BREAKTHROUGH. And now, back to the show.
Imagine a world where every child gets a great education. Educating all children is the only way to end poverty. This is what the Weiss Scholarship Foundation is working to accomplish. Our 6 staff members, our mentors and coordinators, who are on the ground in Kenya, are totally engaged in every aspect of our students' lives, so we can give them every opportunity for success. In just a few short years, we have already awarded 141 scholarships. We send children to high school who would have never gone without our support. And then we help them go on to either university or vocational school. We have already scaled our holistic business model to 4 locations and are ready to scale it to many more. Today it's Kenya, but tomorrow it's more countries. Please contribute what you can today. You can make a one-time donation, a recurring donation, or choose to sponsor a child all on your own for all 4 years of high school for just $3,500. Go to our website, www.weissscholarshipfoundation.org.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Today is Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. I want to remind you of a couple of things. Go visit our friend Brittany down there. Okay, she's in the comments today. And I would love for you to go to nailbeautybybrittany.com and make sure you use the code BREAKTHROUGH, get your discount, and get some nails. I need to get some nails because my nails were looking rough. Visit nailbeautybybrittany.com for that. Also, you saw the commercial for Weiss Scholarship Foundation. For anybody that doesn't know, I donate to Weiss Scholarship Foundation to help end poverty around the world every single month. And I also match funds with the Breakthrough Show Network. So when you support the network, some of that money is also going to the Weiss Scholarship Foundation. My personal donation is matched by the Breakthrough Show funds every single month. They are having a very special virtual fundraiser coming up on September 20th, 2022. I believe it's at 7 p.m. Central Time. But at any rate, I'm going to put a link down below for you guys, so that you can go check it out. There's a silent auction. They have some really cool prizes, lots going on with that event. Again, that's September 20th, and supports ending poverty around the world, starting with educating some children in a little village called Dago, Kenya. So make sure you check that out. And thank you, Brett, for letting us support the work that you're doing and being a part of the organization. So we've got birthdays to do today. Also, Nancy, thank you so much. She said, I'm so glad you're back on the air. This is a great way to start the day for me after all my other morning work is done. And that's the thing. This show is for you. This show is for you. It's about you. And I was sad the whole time I wasn't on the air, but it was also necessary for me to regroup and get things back in order and everything else. So, at any rate, it's a good thing. So we got birthdays to talk about today. Let's talk about those birthdays. At the top of the list, one of the Breakthrough Show past co-hosts, guests. She's been on Project Joy. She has done decluttering with our Breakthrough Show Network community. She is there on Soul Saturday Morning Coffee. Miss Heather Clark has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Heather. I hope you have an amazing day and that it's full of joy. And we love you so much here at the Breakthrough Show Network. And I love you so much, my friend. Also, it's my friend Bill Lewis's birthday today. William Lewis, happy birthday, my friend. I don't know if you're working today or what you're doing, but I hope you're staying dry out there because it's raining like crazy. Happy birthday, William. Also, my cousin Philip Dawson's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Philip Dawson. One of my old school friends, Russ Perry, has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Russ. In the celebrity world, the celebrities in my head, Macy Gray has a birthday today. I love some Macy Gray. Let me tell you something. I try to say goodbye and not choke. Try to walk away and not stumble. And see, I got the little rasp today happening. God, that was perfect timing. Happy birthday, Macy Gray. Also, Dolores O'Riordan, from the lead singer of the Cranberries, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. Her birthday was today. I love some Zombie. I love some Cranberries. And also the lead singer from Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, had a birthday today as well. So those are our birthdays. Let's get our birthday song on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Heather Clark, William Lewis, Philip Dawson, Russ Perry, Macy Gray, Dolores, and Roger Waters. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everybody celebrating today. Wishing you a great big happy birthday from everyone here at the Breakthrough Show Network. Yes, happy birthday. Also, I think that's Brett out there. Jumbo, great to see you this morning as well. We were just talking about the White Scholarship Foundation and super excited about the fundraiser coming up on the 20th. Again, you can go to the link that I put down there in the comments for you guys to check that out as well. Yes, Brett, I thought it might be you, but listen, Facebook's being weird lately. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying Project Joy Live being back. It's good to be back with you guys. Also, don't forget, we are at this new time every day, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Time. And we're going to be having more joy coming on this week. Next week, I hope to have some visitors on the show as well. I've met a lot of new friends in my travels and connecting with a lot of old friends. Plus, as I mentioned, this new time allows me to connect with in the flesh with some of the people that are amazing here in this area that I moved to, Mystic, Connecticut, and really excited to have them on the air as well. To bring you a little bit of joy from around this area. I think I've got a new segment in mind. We've got a lot happening. I love you guys so much. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. And until tomorrow, I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
You've been tuned in to Project Joy Live with Jessica Dugas, your weekday morning talk show, inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Binge all past episodes of Project Joy at projectjoypodcast.com. Until next time, help us spread the joy by sharing this episode, and we'll see you soon.